Hey guys, it's Tamara Bennett from Southern Adornments Decor. How are you? I hope you have had a great 4th of July weekend. I just got back from vacation, so thank you so much for giving a warm welcome to Sarah from the Red-Headed Camel, who was here last Tuesday painting in my place. She did such an awesome job painting a fruity little drink design, and it said cheers on it. I think it had a strawberry. It was adorable. So if you didn't get the text notification letting you know that I was going live, you can get text notifications by texting the number that you see on the screen. And we will also send you updates when we have like a big sale going on or something like that. So you don't want to miss out on that. You can also text me your door hanger questions or send me a picture of your door hanger and say, hey, what does this need? I get those from time to time. Good morning. Good morning. Hello, everybody. If you're watching from inside of a Facebook group right now, you'll need to hit the StreamYard link up on the video description, and then you should be good to go. I can see your name once you do that. Good morning, Sarah. How are you? Hello, Tammy. You said you're so glad I'm back. Thank you. Hi, Laura and Deborah and Cheryl. Hi, Ashley. She said we were on vacation last week too, trying to get back in the groove. It's hard, isn't it? I love going on vacation, but coming home and being back in my house with my stuff, my bed, and getting back to work is like so good. I don't know. It's one of those things where when you love what you do, you don't mind getting back to work. And so I couldn't wait to get back into work. But it is nice to be home. But we were in Santa Rosa Beach, Florida last week, and the weather was beautiful. We only had a little bit of rain here and there. Charlie is brown as a biscuit. She loved playing in the water. Good morning, Rita and Shannon. Can you make this like bright colors? Our theme this year for your future is bright. Yes, you totally could. Which, you know what I forgot to grab? I forgot to get an egg carton. So let me get one out of the closet real quick. I'm going to need that to hold my paints. There we go. So like what bright colors are you thinking that you would use? Are you talking like abnormal color? Like, ooh, what if you did the apple in like a lime green, like a Granny Smith apple? You could totally do that. I'm going to be painting mine red today, like a traditional, apple, teacher apple. And then we're going to be doing some leopard print inside inside this heart. And then we're going to be painting the lettering, but I'm going to be showing you guys how to do a drop shadow on the lettering. And there are a couple of reasons why you might use drop shadowing. One of them is because it just makes things pop, right? And it just looks really cool. But the other reason you might want to use drop shadow is because perhaps your design is kind of busy and your wording feels like it gets lost. So with our leopard print, the wording might feel like it's getting a little lost on the design because it kind of covers the leopard print on the heart and the apple. And so by doing a little bit of a drop shadow, it kind of just brings, I have a hair on the back of my arm that's distracting me. It brings the words to the front, right? It makes them highlighted and easier to notice. Hi, Sharon. Thank you for the happy mail you sent me. Charlie loves the little ornament you gave her, and I really loved my goodies too. Thank you so much. Yes, Sheila, I can see you. Hello. Hi, Deb. Becky says you were in my neck of the woods. We were in South Carolina last week for our vacation. Got home last night. Yes, Destin is such a beautiful area. Hannah says, I'm a teacher and I love this. How many of you guys are teachers or have worked in a school? Like maybe you were a teacher's aide or something like that. I'm always amazed by how many people who follow me and learn to paint door hangers were a teacher at some point or just worked in a school. I don't know if like that has, if people who work in that profession are naturally crafters and want to paint. I don't know. It's interesting. Hi, Sue. Yes, I can see you. Hello, Lisa and Kathy. Lisa says she was a teacher. Tammy is a teacher. You're welcome, Gina. Hello. Kate's a teacher. Debbie says, as a former teacher, this quote is so true. Teaching is a work of heart. That's what it says. Oh, and I forgot to mention, if you want to make one of these at home, we're fixing to get started in just a minute, I promise. I'm just enjoying catching up with you guys. If you want to make one of these at home, you can get... I couldn't hear what you said. Siri thought I was talking to her on my Apple Watch. You can get the printable template by clicking the link up in the video description. It'll take you to the shop. You can download it and you print out the PDF. You can lay it on your wood with graphite paper and trace it out so that your apple is the same exact shape as my apple. Your wording can look the same exact way by using some carbon paper or graphite paper. Now, if you don't want to cut your own wood, if you just want to buy a wood blank and sit down and paint and watch this video later, you can get the wood blank from us, and it will come with the wording and everything laser etched in the surface so you can paint along just like I'm doing. Rhiannon's a childcare teacher. Debbie has been a teacher's assistant. I actually have an elementary education teaching degree. So yeah, I've been a teacher too. I've done lots of substitute teaching in the past. And I don't know, I feel like it just spills out of me. I can't help it. I'm a natural teacher. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Our colors we're going to use today are Deco Art Americana Primary Red, Black, which is lamp ebony black. And then we have some greens for the leaf. I have festive green and jewel green. We're going to do a little bit of shading. And then we have burlap and sable brown. These are going to be colors that we use on our a little heart that's going to have the leopard print. And then on the stem, we're going to use this one. It's a brand new one that I've got. It's called Asphaltum. Asphaltum. I don't know. I feel like that's a made up word. I don't know. So let's get started with the easiest one, which is the red. I'm going to get a flat tip brush with my primary red, and I'm just going to start painting in my apple. I'm going to go around the heart. So just start putting your paint on there. Try not to start up next to the edge if you have a lot of paint on your brush. So if you just dipped your brush and you went right along the edge here and you had that awful like paint ridge, you know how that happens? Start painting away from that. See how I started away from the heart, and then come in and paint closer to the heart when you have less paint on your brush, and that will kind of get rid of that little paint ridge. Now, if you've already created the ridge, and like here, I'll create one right here, and you're like, oh, that was too much, dab some off in another spot, and then go back and just start smoothing it away. Try to just pull it away from that edge. Now, I accidentally got a little bit onto the heart, but that's not a big deal because when I go to paint the heart with this burlap color, it's going to cover just fine. Not all colors will cover red well, but I think that burlap will. And we're just going to lay down a really nice, thick background coat. Now, I get a lot of the times people will ask me, does the kind of paint you use matter? And while I will say that you could use any kind of craft acrylic paint, not all paints are created equal. So if you went to the store and you bought a cheap acrylic paint and it was like a craft paint and you got a great deal on it, that's fine. You probably are going to have to do multiple coats. But as you can see, this Deco Art Americana Primary Red is giving excellent coverage on my first coat. So who knows if I may not even have to do a second coat. And a lot of you guys are always like, well, how in the world do you paint yours with only one coat? And I'm using like 3 coats on mine. It's probably the kind of paint you're using. And it also could be the amount of paint you're putting on your brush and on the door hanger. Somebody says, I use Deco Art all the time. By the way, if you have not shopped on the Deco Art website before, we have a link up in the description for you. And we have a coupon code that you can use. It's all capital letters, Southern20. And you can go and get some of their paint. So go grab some of the Americana paints and use the code Southern20. And you can save 20% on your order. And I hear they have pretty quick turnaround time as far as shipping goes. I actually got to tour the factory a couple of weeks ago. It was really fun. And I got to meet the people in the factory who ship the paints and do all the stuff. And it's just so amazing to see that like this huge company that we think in our mind that they are like this huge company who is larger than life, that it's just other people's moms and sisters and grandmas packing our orders. And when I walked in there and told her my name, she's like, oh, we've shipped you stuff before. We're not just another order. Like, she remembered my name. I was blown away by that. Like, of all the people who shop and order from them, she remembered my name. So it's a really nice made in Kentucky product that works really well. I've got a little paint booger right there though. Let me scoop that off. All right, this is looking pretty good. I don't know if it's going to need a second coat. I'm going to kind of touch up a couple spots and then we'll let it dry and see. Good morning. First time watching. Well, welcome. Tell me where you're from. Audrey says, what kind of wood do you cut things out of? So this particular piece here was cut out of 1/4-inch Revolution plywood. You can find it at Lowe's. If you don't have a Lowe's near you, you can search for this similar kind of wood. It's called plywood underlayment. So when you go to the store, look for plywood underlayment and get it 1/4-inch thick. You can usually buy it in like a 4x4 sheet or a 4x8. I buy the 4x8 and I can usually get, 12 or so door hangers out of that. It's about $15 for a sheet that large. So you can cut out a lot of door hangers for just 15 bucks. Hey, Lynn. Good morning, Judy. Deetra wants to know when the Painters Clubhouse is opening back up. I think it's August 22nd. Could you confirm that for me? I think it's that Monday. I need to look. I think it's August 22nd. We're going to look for sure. But we do have a challenge that's going to be happening before that. So we'll be announcing that very soon. I'm excited about it.
Monday's the 23rd.
Monday's the 20th. Okay, it's the 23rd then. But if you take part in the challenge, you'll be able to sign up before then. Where did you say you could go to print out the letters? Sue, I'm not sure what you're talking about. What letters are we talking about printing? Are we talking about the wood letter workshop we did back in the fall? If you participated in that, you'll need to email customer service and ask them how you access that. Missy said, I would love to see you make a door hanger for a male nurse. We do have a scrub top, but it is pretty girly looking. So that's a good point. I don't know. Like, what would you do for a male nurse? You guys are going to have to give me some ideas in the comments. What do you use to cut? So in the past, I always used a jigsaw and I hand cut all my own stuff. But this one was cut with a Glowforge laser cutting machine. And I did a video on it a couple of weeks ago showing you guys how I cut out a piece on the Glowforge. So if you want to watch that, you can find it on my YouTube channel. Oh, Audrey lives in Kentucky too. Well, hello, hello. I am near Benton, Murray, Kentucky area. I did a Canva tutorial for the letters. Oh, you can probably find that the easiest by going to YouTube and searching on there. It was where we did the one with it said, welcome to the Fluffy Butt Hut or something like that. So go to my YouTube channel because on there, that's the easiest way to find my old videos because here on Facebook, you kind of have to scroll and scroll and scroll and it's real hard to find them. All right, let's go ahead and paint our base coat on this heart. It's the burlap color. We're just going to base coat it and then we're going to start adding our leopard print. Oh, by the way, I have leopard print on my nails. Check this out. I did white nails with silver leopard print. Is that not so cute? Since I had a tan, I decided I could handle some white nails. I normally don't do white, but I always think they look so pretty on other people that have a tan. And right after vacation is the perfect time to try it. And I'm just using a little flat tip brush. This one's about 1 inch wide. And now I'm like going in fixing where I accidentally got over the line with my red paint. Of course, it doesn't really matter too much because when we do all of our fine details later, our highlights and outlines and things like that, it will distract from any little boo-boos that you have where you've gotten over the line and things like that. So don't worry about it too much. Thank you, Sheila. Tanya says, for a male nurse, you could paint the scrubs green or blue and have something like real men wear. Real men wear scrubs. I like that. That would be a cute little saying on a door hanger. I like that idea. Your son lives in Kentucky. Frankfort's not that close, I guess, because, we're over here on the western side. It's about 4 hours away, I think. I don't know. It's been a while since I've been that way. Since I've been all the way to Frankfort. What do you do with the extra paint that's in your egg carton? Sometimes Charlie paints with it. She'll come in here after I've done a Facebook Live and she'll say, Mama, I want to paint. And so sometimes I'll just hand her the egg carton and she will just use all the excess paint. Otherwise, it just gets thrown away. I have so much paint around here, you guys, that it used to really bother me to like throw away paint or to have leftover paint, but now I've got so much paint that I just, it's almost impractical to try to use up every drop of paint that I ever put in the egg carton. Can you hear those crazy girls in there? What are y'all doing?
Do we get how much do we heat up popcorn?
1.5. One, like press the start button 3 times.
3 times.
That's how you tell a 6-year-old to cook popcorn in the microwave. Did she run into the door frame? Okay. You guys want to do some Happy Mail? Linda says, how far are you from the Noah's Ark Museum? About 4 hours, maybe 4.5. Okay, here's your question for Happy Mail. To be entered for Happy Mail, I want you to comment and tell me what you use to put your paint on. Do you use an egg carton? Do you use a paper plate or a foam paper plate? Do you use like a little like deviled egg holder from the Dollar Tree? There's so many things.
I use butter tub lids.
Aaliyah says she uses butter tub lids, like Country Crock.
Yeah, upside down.
That's definitely recycle, reduce, reuse. Hey Ashley, I'm so glad you finally caught me. Hannah uses a paper plate. I see lots of people saying egg cartons. I must have started a trend. I will say, if you guys are using paper plates, like actual paper plates, not foam plates, the paper plates are going to suck the moisture out of your paint, and it's going to make painting more difficult. So if you will switch to foam plates or foam egg cartons or something, you will find that your paint lasts a lot longer, and it doesn't spread out like really bad.
I'm going to use an ice cube tray. I got
Ice cube trays.
Dollar General.
I've heard lots of people say ice cube trays. Elara said ice cube tray. Yep. Lots of people are saying egg cartons. Scrap cardboard. I would be afraid cardboard would suck all the moisture out of your paint too. Styrofoam vegetable trays. I've seen people do that.
Yeah, me have too. I use meat trays. So.
Okay, our winner is Amber. How do you say her last name, you think? Durance. Amber Durance. Let me find your comment, Amber. See if I can highlight it. If you're still here, Amber, I want you to send us an email. I'm going to put, there she is. She said she uses paper plates and a deviled egg tray from the Dollar Tree, just like I guessed. So Amber, if you want to screenshot this, here's the email to our customer service. Send us your address and we will send you some Happy Mail. Are y'all making strawberry milk in there too?
Yeah, I don't like strawberry milk.
You don't like strawberry milk?
I only like chocolate.
Out.
No, I like white milk.
Out. We're working here.
We're going to.
All right.
Hey Pam, you buy palette paper. I had never heard of such. I will have to look that up. I've never heard of palette paper. So this is the darker brown. I ran out of the dark chocolate brown that I usually use. This is called Asphaltum. I don't know. It's a new color. Weird name. And it's okay. It's kind of like a, to me, it looks more like dark chocolate than the dark chocolate paint looks like dark chocolate. To me, the dark chocolate looks more like a milk chocolate. But this definitely looks like a dark chocolate. But we're just going to use that on the stem. Any kind of brown will probably work. I probably wouldn't use one that has a lot of red tones in it. Just because if your apple's red, they might clash. There we go. Pam says, I haven't been able to catch you in a long time. Glad to catch you. Well, I'm glad to see you on here. You've used applesauce bowls that are washable. Good idea. We'll do some more Happy Mail here in just a little bit. Okay, let's go ahead and paint the base coat of our leaf, which is the festive green color. I wanted to use a really nice bright green. And then we're going to do a little bit of shading with the jewel green. But I think I'm going to lay down one coat of the festive green first. I've been using the same exact brush this whole time too, by the way. I'll have to switch here in a little bit to the leopard print, but for right now it's working. Bunch of high maintenance little girls in there, aren't they? They're wanting strawberry milk and popcorn and all the things. They've decided they're hungry, I guess. So lay down 1 coat of the Fiesta. No, the festive green, not Fiesta green. Festive green. And then while that's still wet, we're going to blend in a little bit of the jewel green. So I'm going to squirt just a tiny amount in here. And with the festive green still on my brush, I'm dipping the corner of my brush in the jewel green.
Now, jewel green's the new color that's may not be in stores yet.
Oh, is it not in stores yet?
I don't know if it's in stores yet or not, but that was the problem the other day.
Oh, I did not know about that. Whoops. I should have picked a different color, but look how pretty this is. It's kind of got a teal tint to it. So while the green underneath is still wet, I'm blending in some of this jewel green. If you don't have jewel green, you could totally take this color green and add just a few drops of like a turquoise to it or something to kind of create that sort of look. And then I also want to do a little bit going up on the little seam in the middle of the leaf. Let's see if I can get that to blend a little better.
Strawberry milk and sour cream potato chips.
Now they're eating Pringles. And then I'm going to do a little bit on this outer part here too. That shading is pretty. There we go. Look at that leaf, you guys. I'm proud of myself. Snack time for the girls. Absolutely. I don't think any time is not snack time around here. Charlie eats all the time. Can you put the link in for your paintbrushes? We have some in our shop, Marie, so I'm not sure which ones you're talking about. If you're wanting like the ones with the white handles like this, there's 4 different kinds. There's flat tip, filbert tip, angles, and round tip. And those are in our shop. If you're talking about the ones that were the glitter brushes, these are like specialty. Somebody specially glitters all the handles of these. It's Murals and More by Jamie Connor on Facebook. And you can use the code TAMARA2, the number 2, to get $2 off your brush if you want to. Asphaltum has gray in it, somebody said. Huh, maybe that's why it doesn't have like a reddish tint to it. I actually kind of like it. Sharon said, I saw it in Hobby Lobby and I didn't buy it. I wish I had. I think she's talking about the jewel green. I'm glad to hear it's a Hobby Lobby though. Hey, Stephanie. Thank you. She said it's relaxing watching you paint. There's Lauren. Lauren was here at my house last night. Lauren is a good friend who knows me from before I started the business. She was here in my house back in the days when we did the Pinterest parties in my living room, and she would craft and paint with me all the time. And then she had to move away, and we hadn't seen them in quite some time, and they are in the area this weekend, and so they came by to visit, and we had the best time last night catching up. It's like no time has passed at all. Okay, this is the sable brown color, and so we're just going to take that and paint some little leopard spots. I think I'm going to do some bigger, though. That was kind of small. And so when you do leopard spots, you don't have to, it's kind of like doing a polka dot, but it's messy. So let's just do some messy little wiggly spots. And we're going to space them out like we do our polka dots. So 1, 2, and then our third one is going to make a triangle shape right here. Okay. I don't mean that the dot's going to be a triangle. I mean, you can draw a triangle between the 3. See that? So then our next one, we're going to draw another triangle and it will be up here. Just space them out. Okay. And then we'll do one here. Lauren is a teacher too. This would be a very cute door hanger for your classroom. Do you do a theme in your classroom? Do most teachers do themes in their classrooms? I would love to know that. I think most of them kind of do, which to me that would make decorating your classroom way more fun. I never did that, but I didn't teach long enough to start getting into all of that, and I didn't have any money back then to decorate a classroom or anything. Of course, I don't think most teachers do. You know, they don't usually if they're decorating their classroom, it's out of their own pocket to do that sort of stuff. There we go. We've got our leopard print spots. Now we just have to go in and add the darker color around them, which we're going to do. Is Jewel Green now on Deco Art? I don't know if it's on the website yet. You really like this one, Debbie? Lauren says this year she's doing bright colors because the walls are white. I love that. Like pops of color. Elementary school does that, but high school every now and then. Why not continue it into high school? Vicky says, I work in the lunchroom. We need some ideas. Yeah, you do. Maybe it should be like a rock and roll theme with the words on the wall, Lunch Ladies Rock. Lisa said, I always did a color theme. That way I could change up the decorations throughout the year. That's a good idea. In middle school, you use a confetti theme. I like that. Confetti is my jam. Lauren says, I ordered the dry erase polka dots to put on the walls. Oh, that's a fun idea. I didn't know they made those. Okay, so now that we've got our leopard print spots, let's go in and add the spots, around the spots. I don't know what you call it, but we're using the darker brown, the asphaltum, and we're using the same brush. I forgot to tell you what brush this is. This is one in our shop. It's a size 7 filbert tip. I like using a filbert tip anytime I'm doing a round sort of shape, and since this had rounded edges, I used it. And so now we're just going to kind of on top of the edge of each of these spots, go in and add a wiggly little outline. Don't outline the entire thing, just parts of it. Like I probably will outline the entire thing on that one since it's kind of half on and half off the heart. But I like to kind of have them kind of go on each side and not completely connect. Or I like to have them different. I don't like to have them all the same. So like on that one, it's kind of a C shape. Just change it up a bit. I didn't really wait till my brown was dry either. So my paint is blending a bit, but that's okay. Now we're watching Netflix and the girls are watching Netflix in the living room with it turned up really loud. So maybe you guys will get to hear the ABCs. Science and social studies using blue and green like the globe. That's a good idea. Yes, Jennifer, I can see your comment. There's just so many comments that sometimes I miss them. So I apologize if I ever missed your guys' comments. All right. Can you reach my hairdryer right there?
I can.
I'm going to draw this polka dot heart so we can do our lettering. Or not polka dot, leopard print. Thank you, Becky. I appreciate that. I feel like it's looking like it needs another coat in the camera right there, but in person, it actually looks pretty good. It doesn't look as splotchy in person as it does overhead. But we may go ahead and do another coat just in case, because I don't want it to look splotchy when we go to seal it. So since the red's already dry, let's just do a quick coat of red to make sure it looks nice and even. While I'm doing this, let's do another happy mail. Let's see, what should we ask them? What is your favorite deco art paint color? Tell me that. If you don't use deco art, just tell me your favorite paint color, period. My favorite is bluegrass green. Although some of the girls would tease me and say, I thought it was peony pink because I threw a fit when they discontinued the peony pink because it was retired this year. So I had to grieve over the loss of that color a little bit, but Bahama blue. Oh, that's a good one. And then while we were at the factory, we got to see them, bottling the paint. And the one that they were bottling was the Sea Breeze of all the colors. I was like, oh, I love that one. So it was kind of cool. I'm like, I was glad they weren't like bottling a boring color like brown or something, but we got to see them do the Sea Breeze. Sand Beach. I haven't tried that one, Jennifer. Light buttermilk. Georgia clay. What color is Georgia clay? Is that like a red or is it more of like a gray? I think of clay as being like a reddish because around here a lot of the clays are red. Calypso blue. That's pretty. Ooh, mermaid tail's a really pretty color too. I just got that one recently. Pago yellow. What is that? What it's called? You said can't spell. I don't know if that's how it's spelled or not, but I haven't heard of that one. All right, do we have a happy mail winner? Stephanie Landry, you are our happy mail winner. So send us an email, info@southernadornmentsdecor.com, and we will send you some happy mail. Just let us know what your address is. All right, we got our second coat on our red. I think we're good. Damon says, hey, that brown's almost the color of that gingerbread man. Damon texted me a picture last night of a door hanger or like a wreath attachment he had designed on Procreate. And I was like, your gingerbread man looks a little gray. And so he changed him to more of like a sandy, like actual gingerbread color. Okay, Georgia Clay's a burnt orange color. Great for pumpkins. Good to know. I've never tried that one. Golden straw. You guys are giving me lots to go check out. I haven't tried some of these. Is your shirt from one of the subscription boxes? Yes. So this one is actually from the Cotton Chaos subscription. It may be open right now for sign up. I'm not 100%. It is. Yes. So I can send you guys a link if you want to. Matter of fact, it'd probably be easier if you want to just text me and ask me for the link to it. Rather than me trying to sift through the Facebook comments later and find the people who asked. So if you want the link to it, text me. But this one I really love it. It doesn't have a Bible verse on it, but for those who, read the scriptures, they know these are the fruits of the Spirit. And so it's also very colorful, which I love. So Jennifer says, I've been wanting to get one of your door hangers, but I've never done one. Do you have like a small one I could do? Okay. So Jennifer, in our shop at shopdoorhangers.com, we have 4 sizes. We have 6, 8, 12, and 20 inch. So if you wanted a smaller one, I wouldn't go as small as a 6 or an 8, because sometimes it's actually harder to paint something that small. But I would recommend starting with like a 12-inch size. It's a little small for a door hanger, but it would be great for you to like display on a shelf or something somewhere. And it's just the right size that it's not going to take you forever to paint. But the 12-inch size is a good one to start with if you've never painted before.
What size is that?
This one is actually cut to about 16 inches on my Glowforge, because that was the biggest piece of wood I had. I'm running out of wood. My husband went and bought some, but he hasn't cut it down for me into like pieces. And so I had a piece last night that was, I think it was 18 by 16 or something like that. And so I couldn't make it any bigger than 16 inches because this one's kind of rounded. It was almost the same length as it was height. So on the Glowforge, I cut this one at 16 inches. Yes. Can I put the text number back up? There you go. I'll just leave it right there. Pam says the camera angle is really showing the etching on the apple this time. Yes, it is, isn't it? You can still see it through the paint really well. So let's go ahead and dry it so we can do our lettering, because this is the fun part. We're going to show you how to do the drop shadow on the lettering. All right, I think it's dry now. I was looking for a good brush to do this lettering. Let's try this one. Needs a little TLC.
Mom,
yes, darling.
Can we have
a piece of candy? I don't care.
Okay.
They've eaten everything else. Why not? Let's see. Okay, we need our white. Lauren said it was really cool to watch it cut. So Lauren, like I said, was here last night at my house. And so she wanted to see how the Glowforge worked. So I gave her a demonstration while I was cutting this piece out. And she's like, oh, JD, can I have one of these? She was asking her husband. He's like, no, don't go in there and be getting any ideas. So we're using filbert tip brush right now. And filbert is great because for lettering, it allows you to get a nice smooth end of your letter. So when I'm pushing down here, I just lift straight up and you'll get a nice, which I kind of jerked when I did it, so it's not exactly perfect, but let me do it again. And if you lift straight up at the end of your letter, you'll get a nice smooth edge instead of having like a streak. And then instead of laying my brush flat to do the top of the letter, I'm actually turning it up on its end and just using the tips of the bristles to create the cross on the T.
Got it.
So just push down, lift up, get some more paint. With lettering, I constantly am re-dipping my brush with almost every single stroke. And I apologize if I stop answering your questions for a minute because I have to concentrate when I do this part. Let me see how, okay, I couldn't see how far it went down. It goes down to right there. Do you have any 16-inch round blanks? We sell them in 20 and 12-inch right now. We don't have them in other sizes at this time. But we are getting ready to build our shop on the back part of our property. And I know it probably feels like I've been saying this for almost the last year, right? But they're actually finally back there working on the building. Today, the contractor's coming by to talk to us about roughing in the plumbing. So it's happening finally. And once that building is up and going, we're hoping to be able to offer wholesale on our wooden blanks. Maybe we could offer different sizes too. We haven't really talked about the logistics of all of that and how that would work, but it's possible. That H is a little wobbly. But I think when we add our drop shadow, it will disguise that. So it'll be okay. Goodness. Got a frog in my throat. So satisfying doing this lettering. Mary says, I love our Glowforge. Me too. Debbie, I use 1/4-inch Revolution plywood. Y'all have any questions about the Glowforge? I'd be happy to answer them. I have the Glowforge Pro. We've actually done a couple of blog posts recently about the Glowforge. So if you have questions, you could go read the blogs about it. But if you're thinking about getting one, there is a discount code. If you're getting one, I highly recommend you go ahead and get the Pro because it has the pass-through. And that would allow you to cut pieces larger than the cutting bed. So the cutting bed can only do 19 inches by about 10.5. And so that would only allow you to do tall, skinny door hangers or small ones. So if you want to be able to do something larger than that, you need the one with the pass-through window. That way you can do larger pieces. You just keep sliding it through. And I demonstrated how to do that on that Facebook Live I did a few weeks ago. You can go find it on YouTube. And if you're just now tuning in, I am not freehanding this lettering. It is laser etched on the door hanger. And so I'm just painting inside the lines. If you were doing one of these at home and you did not have a laser etched blank, you could achieve the same look by using carbon paper or graphite paper. If you trace over your words with a Sharpie before you even start painting, a lot of times the Sharpie will show through all the layers of paint so that you can still see your words on top of everything and still paint the words. But if for some reason you didn't do that or it's not working, it's not showing through, just dry everything really, really good and put your graphite paper back on the door hanger, realign it, and trace your words on top of everything. Just trace them again. Makes it really easy to do lettering. You don't have to be able to have cute handwriting or be able to make the letters look cute on your own. You can just paint inside the lines. Did you design this hanger? No, this one was one designed by somebody on my design team. So we actually have a design team with 4 of us, myself included. And we come up with themes for each week. And the designers, we like take turns picking which ones we want to do. And we kind of delegate out the plan. And then each of us go and do our designs. And then we submit them all. And then, of course, people in the template club get them first. So if you're not a member of the template club, you totally should be. But otherwise, you can buy them in the shop from us each week when we release 5 new designs. But it's kind of fun. Like, I love that, like, our designs aren't all designed by me, because I love painting other people's designs just as I love painting my own. And it's gives you guys a taste of different styles, so that all the door hangers don't look the same. You know, different style, different artists create different looking door hangers.
What are some other ideas for the heart besides leopard?
Okay, so if you didn't want to do leopard print on the heart, what are some ways that we could paint that? We could do stripes maybe, or polka dots, plain old polka dots. You could leave it solid. You wouldn't even have to do a pattern on it. You could do flowers, or I'm trying to think of something school related maybe.
Somebody said notebook paper.
No, that's a cute idea. You guys are so smart. Like, draw lines on it like it's a piece of paper that's been cut out into the shape of a heart. Somebody better do that and send me a picture of it. That would be so cute. Love that idea. See, y'all all need to be on my design team. Just help me come up with these ideas. Okay, now the problem with painting with white, let me show you, is that sometimes the white, see how it's not real solid? Sometimes we have to go over it a second time, but I'm going to recommend that we dry it completely before we start going over it a second time. Otherwise, we're just moving the paint around. Somebody commented and said you should put school colors or do music notes. What if inside the heart you painted it some sort of theme for each teacher? So if it was the music teacher, it could be music notes. If it was the art teacher, it could be art supplies. Or you wouldn't want to make it too busy, simply because the wording on top, unless you weren't, if you cut your own blank, you could do whatever wording you wanted. You could put Mrs. So-and-so, put her name on it or something, or his name on it. I don't know. You could customize the heart for the school colors or the theme of the classroom or whatever you wanted to do. All right, so now I'm just going to go back over this lettering one more time. I may have to actually rotate this. And I'm just going to put another quick stroke down the middle of these letters to kind of thicken the paint up. Actually, I don't think I got it dry real good the first time. I thought I did, but I didn't. It was still trying to move the paint around on me.
All right, for you tapes, let's do the third.
Okay, let's do one more happy mail before we start doing our drop shadow lettering in a moment. Let's see, what do we want them to say? I'll think of something in a second. I'm drawing a blank all of a sudden. Just tell me where you're from. How about that? Where are you watching from? If you're on vacation, are you at the beach? Or if you want to tell me like where you live, don't give me your home address. But you could tell me, the state you're from or the city and state if you want to. I love doing that because it allows you guys to connect with each other in the comments. And so if you see somebody who's from your area, that's always fun to connect with that person. White lettering's tough because you got to do a second coat on it, and that's not always as fun. I tend to get a little messier on my second go around with the lettering. I'll try to be neat. Probably because I'm already like, oh, let's just be done. Finish this part because I don't like doing second coats. It's no fun. Oh, look what I did, y'all. I got white paint right there on the edge. Let me get a baby wipe. Louisiana, Alabama, Michigan, Ohio. Y'all keep telling me where you're from. North Carolina. I'm using a baby wipe to clean up my mess. Hold on. There we go. Eastman, Georgia, Mississippi. You're from your lake home in Tennessee. Bean Station. I've never heard of that one. Mesquite, Nevada. Corbin, Kentucky. Pam says, baby wipe. Yep. All right. Our third Happy Mail winner is, hang on, she's writing the name down. Hopefully I can pronounce it.
No, you can't.
She said, no, I can't. Sabrina's the first name. She's having to look at how to spell the last name. So if your name is Sabrina, please stand up. Let's see if I can pronounce Sabrina's last name. Pagan Cop. Tell me how badly I butchered it. Send us an email, Stephanie, at info@southernadornmentsecor.com. No, not Stephanie. Sabrina. Did I say Stephanie the first time? I think I said Sabrina the first time.
Stephanie was the one, but
Sabrina Pagan Cop. There she is. There she is. How badly did I butcher your name? Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, send us an email at info@southernadornmentsecor.com with your address. I would love to send you some happy mail. Thank you for watching and being here. Thank you all for watching and being here. You guys just make my day when you show up for me and comment and show me that you care, that even though I've been doing this for a long time, that it's still entertaining. I appreciate it. I would love to know though this should have been the happy mail question. So anyways, if just for fun, if you want to tell me, have you ever actually painted a door hanger, or do you just show up to watch me? Just show up because it's satisfying to watch. It's kind of like the people who watch Bob Ross and never actually paint on canvas. Are you like that, or have you actually painted door hangers? How many of you guys have never painted one before? You're just here to watch. Which, if that's the case, if you want to just watch, we're not kicking you out. Like, you totally belong here. But if you're watching and wishing that one day you could do this, girl, let me help you out. No, stop just watching and start doing, because this is so fun. Anybody can learn to do it. You don't have to be born with a paintbrush in your hand or have some sort of God-given talent. This is actually something that is a learned skill that anybody can do.
Sherry hasn't yet, but she plans to soon. Have we got a challenge for her?
I bet we do. In August, we're going to be having a challenge, and we're going to be painting a double-sided door hanger. So that's super exciting. So if you want to come and paint with us in the challenge, that would be a great time to get started. Pagan Cop. I did say it kind of right. Awesome. All right, we're going to dry this because our lettering is not done. We've got to go back and add a drop shadow. Sarita says, yes, you started my addiction. I am proud of that. Thank you for letting me know. Let's see. It's almost dry. And then somebody asked about the Procreate tutorial coming along. So I'm still working on it, Tammy. I've recorded several videos already, but of course then I went on vacation. So all of that got put on pause, but I am still working on it. So it is coming. It's happening. Painting door hangers is relaxing. Awesome. Michelle says, I hope to soon. Still a little intimidated. Don't be intimidated. I'll hold your hand. It'll be fine. Vicki says, I've painted several from all of your tutorials. I'm going to have to go back and read all of these later because I'm loving hearing what you guys are saying. So if you haven't answered my question yet, the question was, Have you ever actually painted a door hanger? And if not, why not? All right, your lettering has to be really, really dry because, you know, to use the paint pens next to the lettering, that paint will get stuck on your paint pen and cause a gunked up mess, and it'll be a problem. So we're going to be using the Posca pen that is black. It's a 3M size, so it's got a little bitty bullet tip here. Let me pull it out. I'm going to actually flip the bullet tip around on my thing because I feel like it's gotten kind of, it's either put in, I don't know if somebody put it in backwards maybe, or if it just got smushed. But the other end of it was looking kind of flat. So you want it to be like this, where it's pointed, okay? And so you're going to use the bullet tip pen. Make sure your hands are clean. And we're going to be creating a drop shadow. Now you need to choose which direction the light is coming from. So let's say that this is our light source right here, this little bottle. And so the light is coming from here, right? Well, then the shadow would be on the right side of everything. If the light is over here, the shadow would be on the right side. And then it would also be sort of underneath. So where my hand is, that's where the light's coming from. And we're going to take and we're going to draw a line down the right-hand side of the letter. And you can make that line a little thicker if you want to. And then you're also going to do it on the bottom side of each part of the letter. So that also includes this little area right here and the right side of this. And I think I might want to step up to a larger pen now. I don't know. So do it on the right-hand side of each letter and the bottom. Now go kind of slow because if you get ahead of yourself, you may accidentally start putting the shadow on the wrong part of the letter. And then you're like, oh, whoops. And you can kind of get a baby wipe out and hurry up and clean that up, but it does kind of make a mess sometimes. Okay, also on the inside of the A, but notice how on the stroke. So when we talk about, I just realized this is not close enough for you guys. Hold on. Because you really can't see that drop shadow at all. I'll get you guys closer. I also think I'm going to move up to a larger pen because see how skinny that drop shadow is? I want it to be thicker than that. So let me move up to the 5M. So we're going to use the Posca 5M size. Let me check the bullet tip on this one too because it's looking a little wore out. Well, you can't flip this one around, so maybe it's only one-sided. All right, so we're going to do the right-hand side. I've already done this one, but see how skinny it was? You can hardly see it. I want it to be thicker than that. You want it to be proportional to the letter. So if the letter is kind of thick, your drop shadow needs to be a little thicker than that. There we go. That's more substantial. You can see that much better now. Okay, so what I was saying before is when you have, let's say, like I said, like my hand is the light source. The light is shining from here, down here. So the shadow is going to be on the right side and the bottom side of each letter. But not just each letter, each stroke in the letter. So for example, on the A, on this stroke here, this is the left side of the stroke and this is the right side of the stroke. So we did it on the inside. Okay, and then also on the inside of this part and then the bottom. Bottom of that. Bottom of that. Now right here's where it gets tricky. When it runs into another letter, you don't want it to kind of completely bump over onto that letter. So I'm going to kind of straddle that letter A and try to keep it kind of on top of the letter instead of to the right of the letter. Now, when you get to a curved letter, that can be kind of tricky too. So we're going to go on the right side of this stroke. And then we're just going to bring it down here and just kind of stop before it starts to travel back up. So I stopped right here before the stroke started traveling up. And then here on the right side and then down. And we're just going to repeat that all the way around on the right side and bottom side of each stroke. Did I explain it clearly enough? Does everybody understand what we did? Sue says, I may order from you. Let me know if I can be of any of us if I can get words out, if I can be of any assistance. If you have questions, you can text them to me. I put my text number up on the screen. This one's also tricky, right? Because that's like a letter N and it's a diagonal stroke. So you're like, well, which one's the left one and the right one? Well, if you did the stroke down this way, I would say this is the right side. Just try to use your judgment. Sometimes it's going to be right and sometimes it might be off a little, but the good thing is it's not going to look completely weird unless you start outlining way too many things and you kind of botch it. I have to think about this. Okay, the S is tricky too. So the right side, the bottom side, and then the right side again is the whole side of this S. I had to really think about it though. Joy says, definitely painting door hangers too much fun not to. Is there a template for the lettering? Sherry, the lettering is included on this template. So if you purchase this one in our shop, it has the lettering on it. Also, the wooden blank has the lettering on it. Kiwi says, I love my Posca pens, but they seem to run out of paint or skip, so I can't get a fluid line. Are you pumping the Posca pen, like dabbing it on a piece of paper and pumping the tip to prime it? You have to do that before each time you paint so that it loads the tip with paint. If you pump it too much, though, so kind of be conservative about that. If you pump it too much, then you will have like excess paint where it's dripping and making a mess. So I don't pump mine. I shouldn't have said every time you paint because I probably don't pump mine every single time I paint. I usually test it first and start painting with it. And if I notice it's not, giving me a smooth line or it's not coming out well enough, then I will pump it. Okay, I had to really think about which side of that stroke was supposed to be. And then over here, it's weird because that's going to have a highlight, but then this side's going to be shadowed there. And then this side. Drop shadow is no joke. You got to really think about it. You can't talk and do it at the same time. I had to think about it for a minute on that one. I need to go across the top of the N in teaching. No, not in this one. Because see, if our light source is here, we're going on the right side and the bottom side of things. And so the right side and the bottom side of each stroke. So I wouldn't want it across the top. That would only be if you're like outlining the entire letter. I will start answering questions in a minute. Sorry, I'm really trying to concentrate. Make sure I don't mess it up. Okay. I think I got it all now. Oh, I didn't realize I was off camera. Sorry, guys. Okay. Let me bring you back up a bit. And let's add some finishing details with our Posca pens. Let me see if I missed any questions. This is the tricky part of painting. For sure, you need to stop talking and focus. Does your Posca pens run when you spray them? I don't know what you mean by spray them.
Sealer.
Oh, with sealer. Oh, yes. Sorry, my brain wasn't functioning very well. I've never had that problem, Sharon. I really haven't. So I can't speak to that, but I would just say be careful. So just take your Posca pens, add some cute little whimsical details to your apple. I kind of added some little lines to the stem and to the leaf. I'm going to also go around the outside.
Did you move the camera back up?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I did move it back up. For some reason, I don't think I got it high enough, though, because it's not showing the whole thing. Or maybe it's because I've got it expanded. There we go. It's doing something weird with the camera angle. You've never had them run when spraying, but brush on, you have to be careful. Yes. With brush on, you have to make sure you're not doing multiple strokes. So if I'm using brush, I'll try to only go over one area one time, one direction. See, my Posca pen's starting to drag a little bit, so I know it needs to be primed. When it starts feeling like I'm struggling to drag the pen, start pumping it on a piece of paper, and then it should get back to normal. There we go. Let's do just a tiny bit around the heart there. And now we can add some white accents. I'm going to get the same size pen. It's a 5M in white. Hi, Carrie. Thank you for welcoming me back. And then I'm just going to go in here and add some cute little whimsy accents to give it a little bit of something, something. Let's see. I don't know if I want to. I don't think I want to add any more on the white since the lettering's white. So I just added just a little bit to the heart here and then up here to just add a little bit of movement. Okay, what do you guys think? Do you like it? So here's what it looks like. Ready to hang up on the door. I would give this a really nice, good coat of clear sealer. If you want to, you could even use some glitter sealer. If you're going to use like a brush on, spray sealing over Posca pens is probably the safest thing, and then brush on afterwards. Like for me, if I was going to use glitter, I would spray seal this with clear first and then brush on like, I don't know if I have it up here, but I've got some that's called Galaxy glitter. It's chunky. I probably wouldn't use it on something this busy though, because it would distract from the wording. You could use the Starlight varnish, which has just a like little tiny fine glitter flecks, and that would be pretty. Jerry says it's cute as it can be. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for answering my questions today and hanging out with me. Sabrina says, I'm always so scared to do the white, but it's so awesome. Yeah, it adds just a little pop. At my paint parties back in the day when I did those, there were always people who were like, I just don't love it. It feels like it needs something. And they would hand it to me to like help them fix it, right? And I would get out my back then I didn't know about Posca pens, so I would use my round tip paintbrush, and I would use a little bit of black and a little bit of white, and I'd go around and add some outlines and some highlights, and they were like, oh, it's like you did like a magic little brush on it. It's so much better. They were just blown away how it just really brought the door hanger to life. So don't be scared of adding the highlights and the outlines. It's really the thing that gives it that finishing touch. And so the more you do it, the better you'll get at it. And when in doubt, if you make a stroke and it goes awry, get your baby wipe out before it dries. That should be on a t-shirt. If you make a stroke and it goes awry, get your baby wipe out before it's dry. I'm a poet and didn't know it. And just clean it up. That way you can get, do it a second time. Did you paint the back? Nope, I did not. And I've got a chip in the wood on the back. So we're keeping it real. It is what it is. The last Posca pens you got from 3N had a plastic tip, not felt. Oh, Sheila, I wonder if they were knockoffs. I've never seen plastic tips. I wouldn't like that. The felt's way better. All right, y'all have a great day. I'll see you Friday for Friday Fab 5. So come join me at 9:30 a.m. CST. If you want to get notified when I go live, just text the number right here on the screen. Bye, you guys.